Well, host Sean Lennon of the Fightlete Report. Make sure to check out the Fightlete Report YouTube channel. And right now we got Josh Streacker. He's a Chicago native, MMA welterweight, out on the show. Make sure to check out his fight at LFA 123. He fights Miguel Jacob, but this will be at 155 pounds, and train at Jackson Wink in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And of course, welcome back to the Fightlete Report, Josh. I know it's been a while since we talked, and you've got a huge victory in your last fight. So I just wanted to, say congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's one of those moments that a lot of training, a lot of hours, a lot of hard work, it all culminated to that moment, and it was cool to get back in. I actually made 158 pounds for that fight.
Okay.
That was crazy in its own right because my opponent dropped out, and then we had to find a new one on a day's notice. And great man stepped up, and I did the job that I needed to do. We kind of had a catch weight. He couldn't make 155, but I was on track to make 155. I was on track to feel great about it, and so I take that fight as I fought at 155. So I feel fantastic, dude. Yeah, like you said before, welterweight. Yeah, all my fights were at welterweight, but this new weight class is going to be pretty fun for me, I think.
Definitely, and I know this wasn't the first time you were trying to do this. You had a fight during summer. You had two fights that kind of fell out as well. So talk about that.
Yeah, so I had my fight in July against a good opponent. We were going to be at 160 pounds because that's what he wanted, and he ended up getting staph, and we couldn't fight. So it happens, and then you get revved up, charged up for that. And then it gets canceled. So then you get revved up and charged up for another fight in August for EFL or EAFL. And then that guy just goes to the promoter. You get charged up again, you get excited, and then that falls through. So the guy, Mark Slater, great guy, Colosseum Combat owner, he goes through and he basically was like, I owe you this, Josh. I owe you this. We'll get it. Get it working. So October 17th was when that was scheduled. I was prepping. And then that opponent didn't get the medicals done. So now they grabbed this dude from Cincinnati who's fought on the card, very reliable for them, and great opponent. Lot of fights. I think it was like, what did I see? 17 and like 50 or something like that. So you don't know what the heck you're going to get. You could get like a killer. You could get like an average Joe, and he came out, he tried his best, but it was my day that day. And it's going to be a lot of my days coming in the future.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. And, it's great that you're able to get that fight. It worked out. And when you have a fight canceled, it's almost like you are losing money, right? For each fight.
Oh, yeah.
So much into it. Yeah.
Yeah, you have, you don't take, well, for me, I'm a personal trainer. So you don't take as many clients on, you don't work as many hours because you're dedicated to your craft, So, and then maybe you bought a flight out to Chicago, and then the fight didn't come through, so they don't pay for travel. So you have to either cancel this, and then you got to deal with the airlines. And then it's just a whole ridiculous. And then sponsors don't want to pay you because you didn't fight inevitably, so you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. And then, on top of that, it just stunts your career, like you can't progress if you're not fighting, so, but hey, we're on the right track. We got some momentum, and still, like, 7 wins. I've got 6 knockouts. Like, I know how to put people to sleep. I know how to put them away, and even this last fight, like, he tapped out, and maybe that's what it says on Tapology. But come on, I hit him hard, and he knew it was going to come in a matter of time. So he tapped out. I consider that a knockout as well. So I don't think there's been a person that I've fought that I have not hurt in one way or another. And so I'm excited because, like, now we go to a weight class that's like my division, and I can kind of rule for a little while. I'm at the best gym in the world. I'm working my tail off, and it's going to get fun.
Yeah, that is your first win since training Jackson Wink full time. And so how about the validation? Was that about trusting the process, trusting the system, that these wins are going to come?
Yeah, it's such a funny little like thing because you come to one of the greatest gyms in the world, and then all these people are feeding you information. Great coaches like Greg Jackson's in my ear saying we should try this. Winklejohn is over here like this striking technique may work for you, Josh. Joey Villasenor, Brandon Sixon Gibson, Harry St. Ledger, like all these people. Like there's so many great minds, and in the end, you need to like take control of your career, and you need to figure out what works for you, and figure out what style works for you, what techniques work for you, what'll flow right into your abilities, and what won't. What do you have time to work on, what do you not have time to work on? So I think that's one of the biggest things that I've been able to do is just like figure out a game on the ground, figure out a wrestling strategy, and that makes me a complete fighter. And then I go through and I have really good communication with all these great minds in MMA, and that just makes me be the best fighter that I can be with my own style.
Definitely. And not just MMA fighters. You have boxers in there, kickboxers, and jiu-jitsu people, right? So all the different
you got
sports.
Jacks of all trades, man. Like, and so it's a really cool environment because you go through, you look at this dude, and you're just like, you're probably nothing. And then he mops you on the floor. You're like, oh man, you're really good at wrestling or at jiu-jitsu, or like the list goes on. And it's the cool thing about here, like iron sharpens iron. That like phrase is not wrong, Definitely. So it's really, 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 really cool being down here and just getting the best of the best, getting great rounds in with, the Picos of the world, the Steve Garcias of the world, the all up and comers that we don't even know about yet, So we got a changing of the guard, like here in Jackson Wink. We got the Generation 3, and I'm part of it. I'm happy to be part of it.
Awesome. And your fight is at the Horseshoe. I know you've had some memorable moments there as well. So talk about that.
Johnny, still there?
Yes, I'm there. I think you froze up on me. Okay. Oh, I got you now.
Got it?
Yes.
Sweet.
So the fight is at the Horseshoe, where you won 3 of your most memorable knockouts. So talk about making history there again.
Yeah, I'm super comfortable with that place. It's a really great environment. It's a great venue. And like you said, some of the best moments of my life were there. So I'm excited to do what I have to do and then celebrate afterwards, man. I mean, we do this sport. The moments are crazy, and the fun times afterwards should be crazy with the people that you love, So it's a great environment. LFA is going to be a big step up in I would say like notoriety.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to go in there. Last time I fought for a UFC Fight Pass organization, my video went a little bit viral of me knocking out I believe it was JP St. Louis.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, just to get the notoriety and get my name out there once again. I got 4 losses on my record, so it's kind of like, who's this guy, So the more notoriety we get out there, the more people realize, oh my gosh, 6 knockouts out of 7 wins. Oh my gosh, Josh has been fighting at welterweight his whole entire career. All right, this is something we gotta watch out for. Oh, he makes 155 pretty easily. Oh, he's gonna be a killer. Yeah. And now I've worked on the areas where I was lacking, and so wherever the fight goes, I'll be good.
Excellent. And fighting against Miguel Jacob, he's 5-1, trains out of California. What kind of fight do you expect?
Yeah, he's gonna want it standing and banging. I think that he's a really good counter. I think that he has not incredible power, but I can't let him counter me, so I'm gonna, do what I gotta do. I think for me, the best times of my life that I've had in the cage was when I didn't worry about what my opponent was gonna do, but I worry about what I'm gonna do. And when I do me to the fullest, that's when people get slept. So this is gonna be a fun one.
Definitely. And fighting for the LFA, I'm sure there's a number of fighters that you've known that have come from LFA and went to UFC, and from this promotion?
Oh yeah, so many. Like even one of my best friends, Antonio Arroyo, like he came from LFA. Like Steve Garcia has been in LFA. I think that was actually his bounce up into the big leagues, or at least into the Contender Series. So there's like a bunch of people. It's a great platform. It's a great company. It's a great organization, and they have ties to the UFC. And in the end, that's like the dream of everybody, is to get an opportunity to fight on the Contender Series, to go to the Ultimate Fighter, or even in these other promotions now. There's so many more avenues, and I think that's great for all of us fighters to get a little bit more pay and to grind a little bit harder, and to have some like more chances, you know, to be on TV and market yourself and have a great platform, you know.
Definitely. Mainstream MMA fans, you know, they're a fickle bunch. They kind of expect fights to be wars, like they're watching Gaethje versus Chandler again all too often. So how do you prepare for a smart fight, not give into, you know, those expectations altogether, but, you know that still that, you know, you can assure that it's going to be exciting?
Yeah. So, sorry, I got you. So yeah, for me, like it's all about just, once again, doing me. Like I can't go out there and be like pulled into one thing or another. And I think one of the best things is when I always liken it to every Thursday over at Jackson Wink, fighting some of the toughest dudes in the area, you know, the peak, like I said, the Picos of the world, Tias of the world, and all those up and comers, the Aaron Mitchells of the world. The list goes on, you know. But when you go and you liken it to Thursdays, then the moment is not too big because you've done it over and over and over and over again. You just got to punch a little bit harder and try not to get punched as hard, you know? So it'll be fun. And the good thing is I have the ability now to take the fight wherever I want it to go. At least I truly believe that. And when a fighter at any level can take the fight wherever they want to go, it's really difficult to beat them, you know?
Yes. And in preparation for this fight, who's going to walk you out to the octagon, and what's your training for 155? What's your training for this fight at 155 going to reveal that we haven't seen yet?
Like I said, I'm a well-rounded fighter. So the people that are coming out with me is going to be Diori, Special Forces, brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu, I believe. He's an incredible dude. He just gives me this like little edge on the ground, gives me like, you know, a different approach to the ground game than just like lackadaisical, try to go for a submission, try to, you know, he's like punch him, hit him, hurt him, you know, cause pain, inflict pain, you know. So I got him coming out. He's a great piece of my corner. Daniel Mulroney train, man, like he's the best. He's always been in my corner and arguably will be in my corner. And then Joey Villasenor's coming out. And we're trying to get Mike Winklejohn out as well. So me and Dan Argueta, we're going to be on the card together. And between the two of us, we're going to have a good showing for Jackson Wink. So I'm excited.
Definitely. And talk about the nickname you were given. Is that going to stick?
Yeah, dude, it was funny. So Maurice Green, if you know Maurice Green, he's from the Chicagoland area. He actually fought my buddy Sammy Sabah. And he came to the gym one day, and I was like, yo, Maurice, you fought my buddy Sammy. He's like, oh, man, Sammy, that was a tough one. Like, oh, my gosh, holy cow. I remember that fight. Oh, anyways, what's your name, dude? I'm Josh. Oh, nice to meet you, Josh. So what do you do? Like, you work in finance or something? And Coach Greg was right around us. And Coach Greg starts busting out laughing. And so I go through and I'm just like, I mean, dude, I know I look like I work in finance, like kind of well done, well put up, you know, like, but I am a fighter. And he goes, no, you're not. No, you're not. And I'm like, I am. I've been doing this a while, dude. And he goes, no way. And I'm like, absolutely. And so truly enough, Coach Greg, every time he saw me, called me finance, and still to this day calls me finance. And you know, it was at that moment where like nicknames aren't made up or chosen, right? They're given. And so Maurice gave me the nickname. Coach Greg made it stick. And so now it's Josh the Finance Streaker.
Got it. Cool. I mean, I feel like that kind of makes you inclusive, right? You're officially Jackson Wink, right? That you got a nickname.
I mean, yeah, if I got it from these guys, you know, so that's awesome.
That
It
was,
was a funny story, but you know, it's cool.
I was gonna say that was a crazy fight between your friends Sammy Sabah and Maurice Green. I was there.
Yeah, that was a crazy fight.
Yeah,
Like it went back and forth, like, and you know, Sammy's a good wrestler and Maurice is a good striker. It was your prototypical striker versus wrestler, you know. And unfortunately, Maurice was a little bit longer than Sammy, so caused some mayhem. But yeah, it was a good fight.
definitely. And you know, talk also about why you feel the Contender Series or the Ultimate Fighter might be on the horizon. And is there a particular one you would prefer?
No, like I don't care. I just want to have an opportunity to fight some of the best people in the world. You know, there's a reason why I've chosen this path, and it is to like push myself and challenge myself. So it doesn't really matter what it is through. I mean, dude, if it's PFL, if it's Bellator, if it's you know, UFC Ultimate Fighter, if it's Dana White Contender Series, like whatever it is, I just want to continue to like push the boundary and push my evolution. And yeah, whatever it is, I'll be ready for it. But right now we got a big opportunity and we got to slam the door shut on Miguel Jacob.
Definitely. And also your teammate will be in the main event. So talk about that, right? David Argueta. He's also from a Chicago guy too.
Yeah. Dan's awesome. I just went up to the top of the mountain with him yesterday. Got our lungs kind of like a little bit blown out at 10,000 feet. So it was awesome, man. He's going to be on the card. I'm going to be on the card. We're going to have a blast. He's such a quirky, like goofy dude, and he's a great human being. So I have a blast whenever I'm around him. And I'm sure that's what we're all going to see when both of us walk into that cage, just that we're having a blast. Like we're having fun, you know, because why else do this? Like we're crazy for doing this. Dan's a good wrestler. He's going to take him down. He's going to win. I'm going to win. We're going to celebrate afterwards, you know?
Definitely. And I never asked you this before, but the women's MMA, do you have a favorite or most respected fighter?
In the UFC or anywhere of all time?
Oh, anywhere, like maybe a teammate or.
Oh, well, for me personally, I've always been an Anderson Silva kind of guy.
Right.
Like Anderson Silva's ability to do what he did striking is so ridiculous. Eventually it caught up on him with Chris Weidman, but like the ability to like move your head, avoid those punches. I think that to be an elite striker is tougher than being an elite grappler, honestly. Because there's always that little game that you play with your opponent, aka like the 10% chance game. You know, you could be dominating him the whole fight, but then one hook, one big punch, one thing you didn't expect, and you're knocked out. You know, so for Anderson Silva to do what he did for so long, that's so impressive. And so he's been my favorite fighter of all time. And then second favorite fighter, 112%, Carlos Condit. And it's so cool that I got the ability towards the latter end of his career to be able to like train with him and pick his brain. He's such a great human being and a lunatic like the rest of us. And it's awesome to be there with him, you know?
Definitely. And what can we expect at your fight? I know it's coming up soon, February 4th, LFA 123 in Hammond, Indiana.
You got me, Sean?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I was just going to ask you about what can we expect at LFA 123?
Yeah, I think you're going to expect a fully rounded like fighter. Like I'm all around now. I'm not just one-sided. And, you know, that's going to be kind of crazy because when he has to worry about a takedown, then the knockout's going to be open. When he has to worry about me on my back, then the sweep's going to be open. The submission is going to be open. The get up's going to be open. So like, that's the cool thing. It's just my evolution has allowed me to become a well-rounded fighter. And it's not going to be good for him. Like we talked before, any level, if they're well-rounded, like they're a tough out no matter what. So I think that honestly, I'm going to break him and I'm going to finish him. Doesn't matter how, I'm going to do it.
Well, we appreciate you being on the Fight Report, Josh Streacker. Make sure to check out LFA 123. And if there's anyone you'd like to thank, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I honestly like work with a lot of people that help me with my recovery. I'm all like centered around my ability to perform at the highest level. I want to be the best specimen, best athlete, best person that I can possibly be. And so with that being said, like I like to thank US Cryotherapy here in Albuquerque. They helped me stay recovered, especially when I got these bumps and bruises. Ashley Chiropractic, they're fantastic with keeping me adjusted. There's a bunch of science on chiropractic care that's pretty powerful. Drink HRW, the #1 hydrogen water in the business, I believe. Healing Flower, the CBD company that sponsored me, New Mexico Canada events, and Smile White Now, keep me looking good. And then just got a new one, Maddox Realty Company, with John Lucero. I've got a great team, a fantastic team, and not even like forgetting, Jackson Wink and Monteleon. Like I got a huge team. I've got a great team, and it's not just me walking into the cage, it's everybody that's helped me to this point,
Definitely. Well, Josh, we respect you, man, for getting that cage, and we expect a great fight. Everybody check out LFA 123. Best of luck, my friend.
Thanks, bro.
Anytime.
I appreciate it, John.
Appreciate you. Take care.